Where's David tonight?
So I guess a lot of people
Therefore, he
did.
didn't come. Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't
I
alone.
guess a lot of people.
Climate change.
Anybody probably thinks they're Mexican, that's right.
Oh, boy.
Wow. What time is it? Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, I guess we can start.
One in Satisville. Calm down first.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. Well, I've got a request. We're going to do Going Down to Cairo.
We're going to start with it.
See Charlie.
PC.
Yay.
Where's Lon?
He's not here yet. He's in the other room.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, goodbye. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, Liza Jane. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, goodbye. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, Liza Jane. Oh, how I love you, and ain't it a shame? Oh, how I love you, goodbye, Liza Jane. Ain't got time to kiss you now, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Ain't got time to kiss you now, goodbye, Liza Jane. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, goodbye. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, Liza Jane. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, goodbye. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, Liza Jane. Liza took the new made road and I took the lane. Hung my foot on a hollow stump, out jumped Liza Jane. It's a rough old road and sorry team, goodbye, goodbye. A rough old road and a sorry team, goodbye, Liza Jane. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, goodbye. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, Liza Jane. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, goodbye. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, Liza Jane. Saddle up that yellow mule and curry down her mane. Throw that bridle round her neck, we'll go see Liza Jane. Got an old head, ain't got no brim, goodbye, goodbye. Got an old head, ain't got no brim, goodbye, Liza Jane. Going down to, goodbye, goodbye. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, Liza Jane. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, goodbye. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, Liza Jane. I'm going away to leave you, goodbye, goodbye. Going away to leave you, goodbye, Liza Jane. But I'll be yours if you'll be mine, goodbye, goodbye. I'll be yours if you'll be mine, goodbye, Liza Jane. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, goodbye. Going down to Cairo, goodbye, Liza Jane. Black them boots and make 'em shine, goodbye, goodbye. Black Okay.
Stay up there.
Okay.
You need music?
We do something different tonight.
Okay.
Okay. I'd like to try something different tonight. This is a lovely Indian flute that a friend gave me. And I'll try to, ooh, bless you. Try doing Amazing Grace. I'm not sure. This is a funny setting. I don't know what it is.
Find the key.
All right. No, please don't play the accordion. No, don't play the accordion, please. I can't hear this. Oh, sorry about that. Let me see.
Overs. Pass it
Overs,
over.
overs. Thank you.
Hey, Billy Boy.
Yep.
There we go. I'll give you Jen's number. Call her. Jen was one play
Oh,
three-piece
it's
band.
not there, it's down here,
She played on,
somewhere. It's a new guitar. There we go.
so she's got
Okay.
flutes to find out. What do we got? Key of C?
No, key of E, echo.
Key of E. E.
Oh, I'm going to play Tobacco Road. I don't know who it's by, and I don't know when it was written, but it's a good song. In the key of E. I was born in a dump. My mama died and my daddy got drunk. Left me here to Dyer Grove in the middle of Tobacco Road. Grew up in a rusty shack. All I had was hanging on my back. Only you know how I loathe this place called Tobacco Road. But it's home, the only life I've ever known. Only you know how I loathe Tobacco Road. Gonna leave, get a job with help and grace from above. Save some money, get rich and known. Bring it back to Tobacco Road. Bring dynamite and a crane. Blow it up, start all over again. Build a town, be proud to show. Gonna call it Tobacco Road. But it's home, the only place I've ever known. I despise you 'cause you're filthy, but I love Tobacco Road.
Dottie?
Thank you.
Come on up, Dottie. Here's A. Here's G. That sounds like G. We'll try A. 3 sharps.
And I don't remember the name of the soloist that did this. Been done by several people. One of them you might remember is ABBA. I don't care for their version, so I'm doing a different version.
Do you want the music stand in front of you?
No, I think I know it, unless you want it.
Okay. That's one of us.
I have a dream, a song to sing, to help me cope with anything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take the future even if you fail. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels. When I know the time is right for me, I'll cross the stream. I have a dream. I have a dream, a fantasy to help me through reality. And my destination makes it worth the while, pushing through the darkness yet another mile. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels. When I know the time is right for me, I'll cross the stream. I have a dream. I'll cross the stream. I have a dream.
Okay, one more bow. Do you need another plug-in for the other one?
I'll just go without it. I'm loud enough.
Well, he can have this one. I'm gonna just do this song, and he has a song. Bob has a song, and he can have
Yeah, you do yours.
it for that. Yeah, that's fine.
Good enough. Remember, it's a condenser.
Okay.
It's not like a direction.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
It muddies it when you go on top of it.
Okay, this is
Plaisir d'amour.
I'm doing Plaisir d'amour.
F and G. Plaisir d'amour ne dure qu'un moment. Chagrin d'amour dure toute la vie. The joys of love are but a moment long. The pain of love endures your whole life long. Your eyes kiss mine. I saw the love in them shine. You gave me heaven right then when your eyes kissed mine. My love loves me, and all the wonders I see. A rainbow shines in my window. My love loves me. And now he's gone, like a dream that fades into dawn. Locked in my heartstrings, my love loves me. Plaisir d'amour ne dure qu'un moment. Chagrin d'amour dure toute la vie.
From the sublime to the ridiculous. Okay. CQC. QC, the usual three suspects.
See,
Song about finding water in the desert. Seems kind of appropriate to be in Arizona. It's called Desert Pete. Well, I was headed west from Buckskin on my way to a cattle run across this little cactus desert under a hard bargaining sun. Thirsty down to my boot top, stopped to rest me on a stump. But I tell you, I just couldn't believe it when I saw that water pump. I took it to be a mirage at first that'll fool a thirsty man. But then I saw this note stuck up in a baking powder can. This pump is old, the note began, but she works if you give her a try. I put a new sucker washer in her though, she might find the leather dry. You've got to prime the pump, you must have faith and believe. Got to give of yourself for you're worthy to receive. Drink all the water you can hold, wash your face, cool your feet. Leave the bottle full for others, thank you kindly, Desert Pete. Now you'll have to prime that pump and work the handle like there's a fire. Underneath this rock you'll find some water I left there in a vinegar jar. But though, you'll have to pour it in and prime it. Somebody start over. You'll have to prime that pump, then work the handle like there's a fire. Underneath this rock you'll find some water I left there in a vinegar jar. But there's just enough to prime it with, so don't you go drinking first. Just pour it in and pump like mad. Buddy will quench your thirst. You've got to prime the pump, you must have faith and believe. Got to give of yourself, for you're worthy to receive. Drink all the water you can hold, wash your face, cool your feet. Make a bottle full for others, thank you kindly, Desert Pete. Well, I found that jar, and I can tell you there was nothing prettier to my eye. I was tempted strong to drink it. That pump looked mighty dry. But the note went on, have faith, my friend, there's water down below. You gotta give to really get. I'm one who ought to know. So I poured in the jar, I started pumping, and I heard a beautiful sound of water bubbling and splashing up out of that pipe in the ground. So I took off my shoes, I drank my fill of that cool, refreshing treat. I thanked the Lord, I thanked that pump, and I thanked old Desert Pete. Got to run the pump, have faith and believe. Got to give of yourself, for you're worthy to receive. Take all the water you can hold, wash your face, cool your feet. Leave the bottle full for others, thank you kindly, Desert Pete. Drink all the water you can hold, wash your face, cool your feet. Leave the bottle full for others, thank you kindly, Desert Pete.
Fred, come on up. Fred's got one of those other poems.
My name is Fred Isles, and I'm going to entertain you with a poem written by Robert W. Service, and it's entitled The Cremation of Sam McGee.
My grandfather's favorite.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge, I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold, through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then the lashes froze. Sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, Cap, he says, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, it's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet, tain't being dead, It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven, with a course half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains. Now, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart, how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies, round in a ring, howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loathed the thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin, till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then, here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so much. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked. Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, Judas Priest, close that door. There's a draft in here. I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, this is the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge, I cremated Sam McGee.
Okay, Ron.
You want it lower?
Just a little, otherwise I can jump onto it. Make me Jagger then. That's good, thank you. Okay.
I'm going to do a Johnny Cash song that was first recorded in 1953, and then by 1955 it became his signature song. It's called Folsom Prison Blues. I'm sure you've heard it before. E, I hope.
Oh.
What?
You're in a minor key?
I don't think so. I hear that train a comin', it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, time keeps dragging on, but that train keeps a rolling on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. I bet there's rich folks eating from a fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee, smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming, I know I can't be free, but those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little further down the line, far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I'll let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Thank you.
Okay, Lauren. Same key, huh?
Just about.
E.
I was going to do a different song tonight, but I don't have it down quite the way I want, so. You've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. You've got to have something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right, yeah, if you expect to win and fight. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have that ace in the hole. If you're headed down the wrong way street and you're not sure it's the way you want to go, in money and or love, with all the above, have a little more than what you show. If life hands you a big surprise, well, have a few surprises of your own. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you've got to have that ace in the hole all playing.
You've got to have that ace in the hole. A little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. You've got to have something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have that ace in the hole. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have that ace in the hole. Thank you, guys.
Good job, good job. Okay, Phil.
Good, worked it. Okay. It's a C and it's a polka.
Okay, Lon Austin.
I turned that one down for the.
Let's see,
Let me turn it back up.
okay.
Okay.
All right, very good, very good. All right, let's see, so this weekend on Saturday at the main Glendale Library at 59th Avenue and Brown, we're gonna have the, I think this is the 28th year that we've done the Arizona Songwriters Gathering. So if you're not doing anything, it's from 10 till 5. There's 140 songwriters out there singing. There's workshops going on all day. There's kind of free singing going on. Nancy Elliott, who's going to be up here singing in a few minutes, is going to do a workshop on storytelling and turning stories into songs. That's going to be going on. And if you're not doing anything, you're invited to come out. The most interesting person I think I ever met at the Arizona Songwriters Gathering one year was this kid that lived over outside of Silver City, New Mexico, in a teepee. And pretty much lived in this teepee all through the winter, the summer over there, and was a real interesting person. He had hitchhiked down through Mexico and did all these flamenco kind of songs on the guitar and stuff. But anyway, if you're not doing anything, come on over. And I'll do this, I'll try this Joe Bethencourt song that I do for Marlene and Priscilla, since Marlene wandered in here tonight and Priscilla's over here. Marlene at one time owned the Funny Fellows Sandwich Shop up at just east of 19th Avenue and just east of 19th Avenue on Bethany Home Road. And Joe Bethencourt used to hold court up there and had all of his instruments up there and were on the wall, and they had sandwiches and pop and alcohol. I mean, beer. I think they had beer, right? Marlene, did you have alcohol too? Beer up there. And then Priscilla grew up around Joe, so I'll try this little tune. I was going to do another song, but since they wandered in here, I have to give myself an education. I had to go down and do this memory test down at the doctor's today. You know, it's one of those things where they give you 5 words. Mine were like, see, red, velvet, church, and 2 other ones. I can't remember the other 2 right now. How quickly we forget. How quickly we forget.
We're gonna send you back over there.
He's an art gallery cowboy that I met in old Tucson. Ran into him the other day at Roosevelt and Third. He still had that ponytail and too much turquoise on. Was picking on his banjo and singing all his songs. It's urban sprawl wherever you go, from Prescott down to Mexico, and another Denny sitting by the side of the road. It's so long to the Bean Tree Barn, no more stories and no more songs. Young's farm really has been sold. Now this little song, like many songs, has verses and has a chorus, and after you do the verses, then you come back and sing the chorus. And the reason that I was sharing that is when Jim was doing Beautiful, Beautiful Brown Eyes the other night when we were over here, Barbara actually had him doing the chorus in between the verses, and that works good on some of these songs. So he's an art gallery cowboy that I met in old Tucson. Ran into him the other day at Roosevelt and Third. Still had that ponytail and too much turquoise on. Was picking on his banjo and singing all his songs. It's First Fridays right downtown, with all them people are running around, and fire spinners and belly dancers too. I saw this gal I used to know. She was tattooed from nose to toe and had herself a mohawk haircut too. Now all these little stories in between the chorus are all true stories of people that I met, or articles that I read in the newspaper, or things that I imagined inside my head where we all live. He's an art gallery cowboy that I met in old Tucson. Ran into him the other day at Roosevelt and Third. Still had that ponytail and too much turquoise on. Was picking on his banjo and singing all his songs. It's Wild Bill's big ass ranch, a Cocapelli doing a dance, and Gila monsters and red-eyed rattlesnakes. It's Hopi tales of the next world, and all them pretty Tucson girls, and Heather Ray and her moonshine ways. He's an art gallery cowboy that I met in old Tucson. Ran into him the other day at Roosevelt and Third. Still had that ponytail and too much turquoise on. Was picking on his banjo and singing all his songs. Now, Joe one time did these business cards that had mysterious music of the Southwest on them, and had all these business cards of people playing the banjo and robots playing banjos and all kinds of things like that. But one time he did on a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, did this little whole incantation of Bethan's Court's banjo salve. And so I took most of the words of that and then put them into the song. It's Bethancourt's banjo salve, snake oil, tonic, and bubble bath. It'll cure everything Joe does say. Measles, weasels, and geezels too. Mumps and bumps and little ups and tightens loose women every day. He's an art gallery cowboy that I met in old Tucson. Ran into him the other day at Roosevelt and 3rd. Still had the ponytail and too much turquoise on. Picking on his banjo and singing all his songs. Now one year down at the stock show, I ran into these ladies that they're called the Colorful Sisters on the Fly. And they all dressed in fancy cowboy clothes and wore cowboy hats and fancy cowboy boots and spurs and all kinds of things like that. And they had these little trailers, travel trailers from the 40s and the 50s. They had them all decorated up, and they all of them liked to smoke cigars and go fly fishing on the rivers in the rain. It's those colorful sisters on the fly. They'll keep fishing till the day they die and wear the fanciest cowboy boots I've ever seen. 1950 or 55, they got the best trailers still alive and smoke cigars on the rivers when it rains. He's an art gallery cowboy that I met in old Tucson. Ran into him the other day at Roosevelt and 3rd. Still had that ponytail and too much turquoise on. Was picking on his banjo and singing all his songs. Now, if you get traveling down there in southeastern Arizona and go down through Tucson where the mountains run all the way straight down to Mexico, and end up down there in the southeastern corner of the state over there near Douglas, and you want to stop down there in Bisbee, Arizona, where all those ex-hippies from the 1960s and artists live down there, paint pictures and do all that kind of stuff. There's a pizza parlor down there called a Screamin' Banshee Pizza Parlor. And so it's a very interesting kind of a place. They've got 2 bathrooms down there. They're unisex bathrooms, and one of them is just regular. It has white walls in it that I was down there, and the other one, the walls are all painted pink. There's a tarot card deck all around the door, so you give yourself a tarot card reading down there if you go down there and go to the bathroom. There's a Buddha sitting in the corner, and there's butterflies and science fiction book covers glued all over the wall. It's a Screamin' Banshee in Bisbee town. Buy some pizza and look around. There's a bathroom there you've really got to see. The walls, they are painted red. Buddha and butterflies overhead and 2 eagle feathers hanging in the hall. He's an art gallery cowboy that I met in old Tucson. Ran into him the other day at Roosevelt and 3rd. Still had that ponytail and too much turquoise on. Was picking on his banjo and singing all his songs. Where's home, Bill?
You want Tennessee Waltz?
What are we doing?
Tennessee Waltz.
PD.
Come over
Tennessee
this
Waltz?
one. Let Bill get on that one.
Okay.
I was waltzing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my loved one, and while they were waltzing, well, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. Yeah, and I remember the night in the Tennessee waltz. Now I know just how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. I remember the night in the Tennessee waltz. Now I know just how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. Yes, the beautiful Tennessee waltz.
Same key.
Okay, we're going to do a Shokin farewell. Thank you.
Give a big hand to the jammers tonight. Yay, yay. Now don't go away. We have Nancy Elliott coming up. Yay.
Check, check, 1, 2. Oh, it sounds like it. Cold fingers. Oh, there's a desert mountain haven where I love to spend my time, riding on the Goat Camp Trail. Oh, it's a pretty heady climb, slick shale and solid granite up a winding canyon wall, where the trail is clear, the air is cool, a blue sky above it all. The white tanks kiss the sunset out where the eagles fly, and her peaks blush rose in the morning light against a turquoise sky. As I travel up this canyon, I can't help but know I'm free. I like the mountain cat, the buck mule deer, and the wind in the Fillery. A meadow spans before me as I break o'er the pass, and songs of ghostly shepherds are heard sighing through the grass. The white tanks kiss the sunset out where the eagles fly, and her peaks blush rose in the morning light against a turquoise sky. And an old stone wall is all remains of a once much traveled trail, where I stop to rest and ponder how God's mysteries prevail. His sure hand is what you'll find on this desert refuge high, with a fragrant breeze and the red-tails cry, it's a mountain lullaby. The white tanks kiss the sunset out where the eagles fly, and her peaks blush rose in the morning light against a turquoise sky. I'm breathless when I reach the top, and I turn to gaze in awe. Crowned king, 4 peaks are miles away from Montezuma to Tonopah. As evening sets and I head back to my meadow camp below, so our rows in the valley are basking in the glow. The white tanks kiss the sunset out where the eagles fly, and her peaks blush rose in the morning light against a turquoise sky. The white tanks kiss the sunset out where the eagles fly, and her peaks blush rose in the morning light against a turquoise sky. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you're all going out to white tanks this weekend, right? Going out to the park this weekend? Actually, for those of you that don't get around so well, at the Waterfall Canyon Trail, it's paved. Yep. Well, not the whole thing, but for about half a mile. And it only takes about 100 yards down a trail at the White Tanks to feel like you've gone back about 1 million years. It's just absolutely beautiful place, and put it on your list if you haven't been there. The trails are really accessible to just about anybody. White Tank Mountain Regional Park. White Tank. Yeah, it's familiarly, it's called the Tanks, but it's White Tank Mountain. So when you're going up I-17 and you look off to the west, it's that row of mountains that runs perpendicular to the interstate there. What a pretty place. I worked there. I built trails there for led hikes and stuff like. I was a park interpreter. You know what that means? That means this is a spider, and this is a Gila monster, and tarantulas don't bite if you don't bite them first. That's what that means. So I actually brought a set list tonight, but I know some songs I'm going to be doing. I know they get requested. And of course, I'm going to do the songs from my book. Years ago, I wrote a song called Autumn's on Its Way, which I'll do for you right now. James and I, we settled this place. Well, it must be 20 years gone by. Just kids we were our whole lives out in front. We never thought how time would fly. In a couple of years, Abby was born. She was her daddy's joy and pride. Through the work and the seasons, they were constant companions. Side by side, they'd sing and they'd ride. And now the light in through the window tells me autumn's on its way. A freshness on the breeze says it's due most any day. The days are getting shorter and the sun seems slow to rise. And the turning of the seasons in our lives we can't deny. Cold fingers, sorry. They'll get there. With good horses, tough cows, miles of grass, some luck, and a whole lot of sweat. 5 kids on the ground and a house made of joy. We proved up and got far out of debt. But then Abby, she went missing. We all searched for months. James, he swore he could still hear her voice. And when the grief, it finally took him, I dug his grave and we pressed on here with no other choice. The light in through the window tells me autumn's on its way. A freshness on the breeze says it's due most any day. The days are getting shorter and the sun seems slow to rise. And I see the questions dancing in the shadows of your eyes. Now we've been out here alone. Then you rode in here last spring, and we'd made out just fine. We'd prospered too. We never thought we were missing a thing. Now I see those boys, they need a man, and they take to your hand like that colt you started last week. You're respectful and kind. You've got a straight thinking mind. And I wonder, do you ever think of me? The light in through the window tells me autumn's on its way. A freshness on the breeze says it's due most any day. Would you stay on through the winter, keep the canyon winds at bay? If there's love here in the springtime, there's nothing left to say. Thank you so much. So I don't know why I did that the day I have a gig. I usually put fresh strings on the day before. So sorry. They're still adjusting. I thought I played them in. So right away after I started performing that song, I wrote it about 2006. People asked me, so what does he say? And I said, I don't know. It's 3 verses in a chorus. That's a song. Come on. I never thought about it, really. I never thought about it past the song. And so couple of years went by, and I was playing out at Festival of the West, and a man named Elmer Kelton came up and asked me, so what does the soldier say? And I said, I don't know, Mr. Kelton. And he wagged his finger in my face and told me to go home and find out. And I said, yes, sir. He's passed now. He passed early 2009, I think, but he still is the greatest Western author of all time. If you don't have his books, you'll really enjoy them. We can kind of relate right now to his book called The Time It Never Rained, right? Yeah. So it never occurred to me to write a book, and didn't know anything about it, but as an avid and voracious reader, I knew I had to develop my characters and give them personalities and where they hailed from and all of that. And so when I started to write it down, of course, it came out like a poem. And so I'll try to do that poem for you right now. It's called The Ruby-Handled Knife. And this is the description of my main character in the book, the person that was talking or speaking in the song. Rose McKenzie is her name. Where did I get this knife? Why, this knife was my grandfather's near 100 years ago. He took it from a pirate whose sordid life he did forego. Then he rescued a maiden from the hold of that black ship, and with this singing blade he cut her bonds, and in the water they did slip. When they washed ashore near Dunbeath after 3 days lost at sea, he knelt right there, and she answered him, of course I'll marry thee. And he brought her to America, a new land rough and raw, where she used this ruby-handled knife to cut the cord on my dear pa. Now this ruby-handled knife is worth far more than all its gems. Its treasure is its history, how through our lives it wends. Its jewel-encrusted beauty will a crying baby charm. Blade and point, hilt and shaft keep us safe from harm. When Grandpa passed, he gave this knife to his first son, my pa. Now pa's gone. This knife is mine, and I often am in awe. Just how it's played a stellar role in daily mundane life, bringing magic and enchantment to a lowly rancher's wife. This ruby-handled knife marks the first calf each spring gather, and it's the only knife to carve a roast upon the Christmas platter. This ruby-handled knife pairs midsummer's premier peach, and it's been used a time or two to extend a desperate reach. It's a comfort here kept at my side when faced by an outlaw. Why, it saved me from a bloody end at the panther's deadly paw. It freed me from my stirrup once when I became ensnared, and it cut the throat of a favored mount when no bullet could be spared. This knife will shave a callus and double as a spade, and it's marked our name to each beam and post throughout this home we've made. It's cut the cords on all my babes and will my grandchild soon. This ruby-handled knife will one day pass from my hand to my son's. He too will keep it at his side until his race is run. And so this ruby-handled knife steadfastly intertwines our history with our future, ever on through spans of time. Thank you. Thank you. So you learn right out of the box that Rose Mackenzie's no damsel in distress. Rose Mackenzie, her eldest goes missing. Her husband grieves himself to death. They're well along. They're well established. Rose isn't tied to the railroad tracks like in the old bodice rippers. The tracks hadn't made it there yet, first of all. And the banker's not after her ranch because Rose owns the bank. So it's not that kind of a Western. I think there's one shot fired in the whole book. And it's more about the people and the life and the adventure, the mystery, the legends that swirl around the knife, and where they all came from. And if you already have the book, you've found the knife in the book. Yeah, it's in there. So when Abby goes missing, everybody in the whole town and surrounding area is helping to find. Abby wasn't the only person that went missing. There were other women and children that went missing as well. And the wife of one of the ranch hands on the double MK, she and her 2-year-old daughter went missing at the same time. In fact, she and Abby were together when this took place. And her husband, in this tracking process, a big storm comes in, early storm. This whole book is set up in the high country of Arizona, so if you've been up there in June, you know there's a good possibility of getting sleeted and snowed on in June up there. So a late freeze comes, and he just obliterates all the sign, and he says, it's as if they rode out on the back of the north wind.
Smell it on the air, hear those wind people chatter at your window. Well, there's lightning on the mesa now, it's raining on that playa, and they're telling you to go, but here you stay. It's time to go, you better go. Why are you here? Are you still here? If you leave right now, you might catch them. Your heart took your dreams by the hand and rode out on the back of the north wind. Was it really there? Did you make it up? That shadow moving through the moonlit sage. Well, there's a nudging in your spirit and it's tugging on your soul, and they're telling you to go, but here you stay. Here you stay. It's time to go. You better go. Why are you here? Are you still here? If you leave right now,
Thank you. Is Lon still sitting? Oh, there he is. You are hiding back. I go play the Arizona Folklore Preserve in February, the 15th and the 16th. And I'm going to stay at Red Lake Ranch with Zia. She's one of those sisters on the fly. Thank you. Yeah, that's going to be fun. She's a lot of fun anyway. She just loves to laugh. And I say that because I say also that I'm going down there because hopefully you'll come down to the Folklore Preserve. It's quite a drive from here, but it's a beautiful drive, and you can stay at Ramsey Canyon Inn or someplace else in Sierra Vista. But also because my friend Kate, for whom I wrote this song, is now on that ranch with Zia down at Red Lake, and I get to go see my friend Kate. This is called The Stronghold for Kate. On the face of the Dragoon Mountains, down in the land of Cochise, the sun rises up, romancing the peaks, pretty as you please. Cloud shadows race ahead of the wind like a million horses at play. She watches from under her hat brim and smiles at her world in the strongholds and graves. It's a peaceful and dangerous passion, so quiet it roars with the living, filling her spirit with so much more than she could imagine giving. More than one handsome Dan with money has tried to lure her away. She kept looking back over her shoulder. Her heart would not go astray. Well, it's not that she couldn't have loved them, and it's not that she wouldn't have tried. She's been locked in the arms of that stronghold so long, if turned loose, she'd never survive. Oh, it's a peaceful and dangerous passion, so quiet it roars with the living, filling her spirit with so much more than she could imagine giving. On the face of the Dragoon Mountains, down in the land of Cochise, the sun rises up, romancing the peaks, pretty as you please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Dan McCorson wrote the music for that. I wrote that song way back in 2013, something like that. Wrote the words to it, and I couldn't find the music for it. And one day I happened to be in his presence, and I said, "Hey, I got these words." You know how that works. Well, It worked out just fine, yes it did. And Dan will be at the songwriters gathering this weekend, so we're going to make a point of going to see him. Okay, I'm going to try a new song on you. Is that okay? So, thank you. So, plug your ears just in case I mess up all the words or something. But it's a new song, so I guess you wouldn't know, right? So when some of the comments I get back, and when I do book signings and stuff, people say, so they used to say, so if this becomes a movie, who do you want to play, what part, And now they say, when this becomes a movie, who do you want to play what part? But while I was writing the book, my friend Stuart McDougall, when they were coming down from Canada, we ran around together quite a bit, playing music all over the place. And when I first heard it, I was in the middle of writing the book when I first heard this song. And when I heard the song, I said to myself, if this was ever going to be a movie, this would be on the opening credits. It's called Come Away by Stuart McDougall. Come from the islands, come from the old lands, or the horizon, who lands await. Frontiers are calling, I hear them calling. Come to the unbroken ground, come away. Come from the darkness, come to the sweetness, come with forgiveness. Come away, come to the unbroken ground, come away. I think it needs some fiddle. Come from the highlands, come from the lowlands, behold the sight of new virgin terrain. New vistas calling, I hear them calling. Come to the unbroken ground, come away. Come from the twilight, come to a new life. Come with a new lamp, come away. Come away, come to the unbroken ground. Come away, come from the darkness, come to the sweetness, come with forgiveness, come away. Come away, come to the unbroken ground, come away. Come away, come to the unbroken ground, come away. Come away, come to the unbroken ground. Come away. Thank you. Stuart McDougall. One day we'll get him here. Or not. On that piano, yes. Huh? Yeah, we got to get him back down here, though. We get this economy turned around somehow, and because they sold their house and everything and left. That was when you guys were at the house. That was it. They left. Yep. Yep. That was it. Oh, I know what you want to hear. You know what? I'm cold, so I'm gonna rock and roll here. Yeah. And I don't rock and roll, but this is kind of rock and roll for me. So here's an Ian Tyson song called The Desert Motel. The sky was a mix of oil and pastel. It's 12:15 at the Desert Motel. On the Miracle Mile or the highway to hell, she sits all alone at the Desert Motel. He had a broken marriage, he had a busted arm, a winning attitude and suit cowboy charm. He was leaving, his wife said it would not be long. He'd meet her next week at the rodeo in Tucson. So she packed all her dreams and most of her stuff in old cardboard boxes in the back of her truck. And there isn't much heat and the room's getting colder. A week has gone by, the rodeo is over. Well, it's Saturday night, and she just found out he'd paid up his fines, and then he turned out. He was gone with the wind, but he left her a note. It lifted her heart and gave her hope. By that 60-watt light bulb that hangs by her wire, she read what he wrote and she knows he's a liar. But champions are made, big buckles get won, and love is lost on that highway in Tucson. And the sky was a mix of oil and pastel. It's 12:15 at the Desert Motel. On the Miracle Mile or the highway to hell, she sits all alone at the Desert Motel. Thank you. I was lucky to have, thank you very much. When I recorded that on my Tall Tree album, I was lucky to have Mr. Stuart McDougall playing piano on that one. He played on the road with Mr. Tyson for many years. Here's one I wrote, probably I think it was actually 2014. I wrote this song in 2014. I had made a trip. When my mom passed away, she left me her Lincoln. 2005 Lincoln. It was their first new car ever. And went down, paid cash for it, brand new car. And when she passed away in 2014, it was left to me in her will. And when I went back that fall to pick it up, it only had 22,000 miles on it. So driving it back to Arizona, and, of course, I had a friend along with me who was also a guitar player, and so we had to go to Nashville. We didn't go to the bars and watch all those people play that make you want to go home and burn your instruments, We didn't go there. We went to Gruen Guitars and hung out. It's a pack a lunch music store, okay? Because you're going to be there just playing all these wonderful instruments. But anyway, on the way there, we took the back roads because that's how I like to go. It's the 2 lanes. And coming out of Maryville and headed into Nashville, to stay on the 2 lanes, you hang a left coming out of Maryville onto River Fork Road. And it was just one of those rainy, drizzly, cold days in November. And I could have swore I saw somebody standing under that tree over there, right there on the corner in the rain. It was raining when he saw her down on River Fork Road. He pulled over, said, "Gideon, you're looking wet and cold." A duffel and guitar she tossed in the back seat. Then she jumped into the front, took her wet socks off her feet. He turned the heater up and they rode for several miles, before she ever spoke a word. Then she turned to him and smiled. "Thank you." It was a cold, cold night in Nashville. I left early in the morning, and if you hadn't stopped, I might still be standing there. I might have missed my rendezvous. I might have missed it. He said, "But that's the way I'm going, back the way you came." She said, "Oh well, that's okay. Tell me what's your name." And he told her his real name and a million other things about love and pain and memories of the songs he never sang. And when the snow was blowing sideways past the headlight glare, they found a bottle and a room, and they took up refuge there. Thank you. It was a cold, cold night in Nashville. I left early in the morning, and if you hadn't stopped, I might still be standing there. I might have missed my rendezvous. I might have missed it. And she played those songs he never wrote and helped him find the words to the melodies that haunted him, for verses rhymed in truth, and the words moved like a razor carving right behind the pain, and the melodies were double-edged and slicing through the chains. And at the bottom of the bottle, when there were no more words to sing, he fell back onto his pillow, a guitar ringing in his dreams. In the morning, snow was blowing sideways past the hotel door, blurring faces, songs, and words, and her footprints through the storm. He said, "I never even kissed her, I never even touched her, I never even asked her, I never asked her for her name. But I told her all my pain, and and shared all my wildest dreams, and she made them into songs, and she gave them back to me. Thank you. It was a cold, cold night in Nashville. I left early in the morning, and if you hadn't stopped, I might still be standing there. I might have missed my rendezvous. I might have missed it. Thank you. Cold night in Nashville. I wrote another song on that trip. I'll see if I can plunk it out today. So after leaving Nashville, you know, the truck stops, and just like here, they have a lot of local art, Native American art. And there was a truck stop there. I think we were in Illinois, Missouri. I think we were in Missouri. And everywhere you go, you know, the traditions are different. The focus is different in the Native American art. And this dad and his daughter were painting these really great, almost abstract horses and wildlife, and they were putting them on cards and T-shirts and trivets and everything. And I got about halfway through looking at stuff and told my traveling partner, I'll see you in the car. I had to go write some stuff down. A crazy, crazy horse lives inside of me. She mostly blue, some days she's gray. She's got red paint splatters here and there, and rainbow feathers tied in her hair. And she goes buck and snort all around my ribs, singing, don't you forget who you really is. You are the whirlwind and the softest of sighs. You are good, you're brave, you're strong, you are wise. Your opinion smoking snowflakes in a starry sky. You're wild and never tame, and you know you are right. You are a seed in the earth, a song on the wind. You drink your moonshine from a teacup, running over at the brim, and that's the opposite of sunshine now. Made a sky where the songbirds fly. Lightning and thunder live behind her eyes. And when I can't remember who I'm supposed to be, I look into the mirror, she's looking back at me. And she goes buck and snort all around my ribs, singing, don't you forget who you really is. You are the smallest flower on the highest peak. You are the secret on the morning breeze. You are the oak that bends. You are the eagle's flight. You're the river, you're the stone. You're a sweet lover in the night. You're young, you're old, you're God's perfect prize. You are diamonds, you are rubies. You are danger in disguise. Well, this old world world can get the best of a girl, make you feel like the swine instead of the pearl. And when I can't remember who I'm supposed to be, I look into the mirror, she's looking back at me, and she goes buck and snort all around my ribs, singing, don't you forget who you really is. Well, a crazy, crazy horse lives inside of me. She mostly blue, some days she's gray, she's got red paint splatters here and there, and rainbow feathers tied in her hair, and she goes buck and snort all around my ribs, singing, don't you forget who you really is. Don't you forget now. It's in there, it really is. Leave it out. Thank you. Have time for one more? Two more? Two more? Okay, I'll come down here. I'll come down here. So one of the things about that I talk about in the Story to Song is, you know, how to take, I mean, both of those last two songs came from true incidents in my life, and sometimes you don't need to tell the whole story. You just need to tell the part that sticks out the most, you know? And so when I first got to Arizona in '90, I just had to go exploring because I just fell in love with this place. And one of my very favorite places is up on the rim. North Rim, South Rim, I don't care. It's just beautiful up there in the high country. But up on the blue, out by the ranger station, there's this old pine tree that leans over the canyon. A tall tree bends over the canyon. He stands so high above the rim. He looks below and sees the river, the one true love he'll never know. Oh, river wild, deep in the canyon, she's silver jewels and azure blue. She sings to him a song of love that sparkles in the sunrise hue. She looks above every morning to see her lover waiting true. And as he sways to her love song, his branches whisper, I love you. Away, away, down in the canyon, where he cannot feel her touch. Away, away, oh, he would take her away and wrap her in his love. So far away in miles of time, your love comes comes to fill my heart. Deny the want, deny the longing. My heart still breaks that we're apart. If time were kind and life was tender, I would always be your love, and your heart's fires would travel home and wrap me always in your love. Away, away, my heart goes dreaming of when you were here with me. Away, away, old fires remembered when you wrapped me in your love. A tall tree bends over the canyon. Thank you. Let's see what I got here. Thank you. Let's see what I got here. That's kind of fun here. Are you another love song? Sure? Another love song. Okay. This one was written by Linda Thompson. For all you guitar players out there that are Richard Thompson fans. Richard Thompson, this is one that his wife wrote. I found it on a Tom Russell CD. On Cowboys, Indians, Horses, and Dogs, the Tom Russell. It's called No Tellin'. He came in to the ballroom just a crazy old man, and his eyes seemed to glaze in the light. He was just some old cowboy, to judge by his rags he'd rode in from the cold of the night. The whole room was dancing, they paid him no mind as he slipped to the bar and said, would you please be so kind? And the music kept ringing in the back of his mind. There's no telling what a love song can do. Well, the queen of the ballroom sang her favorite song, and he stood there with a glass in his hand. Oh, he was weary of living the days of his life, and tonight was the last he could stand. He'd shut out the future, he'd shut out the past, and even the present was closing down fast. As the queen of the ballroom sang, we'll make this last. There's no telling what a love song can do. She started to sing for the very last time, and he stood there and trembled all alone. And the pain he'd been holding inside for so long just fell from his heart and was gone. It was only a love song, simple and clear, but it bowed as shook him with every last tear. And he cried from relief, he cried out from fear. There's no telling what a love song can do. Oh, do-dee, do-da-da-da-da-da-da, oh, da-da-dee. Well, the queen of the ballroom still glitters and shines each night at that old-time parade. And maybe it's something they put in your wine, but her beauty refuses to fade. I think she got married to a stranger, they say, just a crazy old cowboy who rode in one day. And the whole town still dances and the music still plays. There's no telling what a love song can do. And the whole town still dances, the music still plays. There's no telling what a love song can do. Oh, do-dee, do-da-da-da-da-da-da, oh, da-da-dee. Oh, dee, do-dee, do-dee, da-da-da-da-da, oh, da-da-dee. Thank you all so much. Thanks for having me at the Mexican Bead Lizard gathering. I just love coming out here to play for y'all. Thank you so much. I do have some books and CDs with me if you're interested. Thank you. You're welcome. I will be back. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be at the songwriter gathering this weekend, and I was supposed to open for Ismael Barajas and Domingo de Grazia February 8th, but they moved it to March 9th. So just my calendar, it's on my calendar. I'm confused sometimes.
So when are you at North Mountain again?
I am at North Mountain March 15. March 15, yeah.
Which is it's a wonderful place to come and listen to her. And it's 2 hours.
Oh, yes, it is. It's 2 hours.
Yeah, you get 2 hours. And she's also going to be at the Glendale Festival, too. The Folk and Heritage Festival, which is March 1st and March 2nd. And she'll be at that one, too. Okay, so like Nancy said, we've got the songwriters gathering this weekend. Starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, so come on out. The Glendale Library is on 59th Avenue and Brown. I believe it's Brown. Somewhere around there. There is a light. It's just south of Peoria on 59th Avenue, just north of Glendale Community College. So come on out to that. Next week is going to be, don't really know, so I'm calling it Cimarron Sidekick on the Road. And that should cover the whole thing. So come back next week. So until then, go home.